Welcome back, Alchemists. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Walter Moreau, and the great Vinny Smile Chopra. Vinny, welcome back. You're finally outdoors again.
I know. I'm right here in the backyard. I thought, the whole scenery is so beautiful. I've been working out here in the outside. My office is, of course, inside the house, but then in the gazebo, I hold when the weather is good to come out here in the mornings and in the afternoons and kind of enjoy the ambience and fresh air and everything. But I'll be walking after this one. No, thank you.
I picked something up.
Yeah,
because you inspired me. You were talking about time, how. And you can explain this for everybody right now. Like, why is this so important?
It's so important, brother. I bought the same one too with the red color in my office. See, the thing is, the sand on the top is the future. That's the future. That's tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next week, 5 years, 10 years. Then the narrow neck is the present. That is the present. So the future is going trickle by trickle by trickle by trickle, moment by moment through the present, and it's becoming the past at the bottom. I mean, I picked up from Gary Chupik, and I want to thank him from Washington, and so forth. That's the key to life. We need to be living in the present, not living in the future. Nobody can live in the future. I mean, we could make the future become who we want it to make. The past, it's already gone through the neck. We cannot change the past. We cannot change 30 seconds back or 1 minute back or 10 years back. So why should we really boggle our mind and live in the ashes? I really say that to everybody, that we many times live in the ashes more than we should be focusing on today. We always say, I didn't do that. I did not accomplish it. I was not successful. That those people told me not to do it and I should have listened to it. Everything in the past, our subconscious keeps the whole movie till we die. We have a big super camera in our conscience. And the key thing is we need to erase it. We need to erase the bad vibes and bad takes and bad everything. Thank you. Profitability, positivity has to be a part of your life. If it's not, you're not going to accomplish the goals that you want to do. And that's what we're going to talk about today is the mindset of millionaires. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to adjust your mind. You got to really, really be thinking the mindset of thinking like a million, like you gave me the topic, is that you got to be remaining focused on turning a goal into reality. How many times we write it down, a goal, and then we say, you know what, I'll get around to it. Oh, I didn't accomplish it. Oh, we find excuses. Literally, we do. We are very great at finding excuses, by the way. Everybody, even
you could be a millionaire or you can have a million excuses, right?
Exactly. The key thing is to have developing a laser focus is the word I wrote down, laser focus, vision, and taking consistent action steps to move closer to achieving the goals.
I love it. So for you who's listening right now, if you're wondering like why are we talking about this specific topic, is we just finished Wealth Principle 52 last week. We did Wealth Principle 52, which is sharpen the saw, start over again. And so we're starting back at the first principle you have to think of in order to become a millionaire. And me and Vinny have, I was originally just saying build 100 millionaires. Then Vinny came to me and said, no, man, Walter, we've got to build 1 million millionaires. We came up with the philosophy. The philosophy is not just build 100, but build 100 who are inspired to build 100, give them the tools, give them the strategies, the knowledge. And that's what we're doing on these Abundance Thursdays. It's really thinking in terms of positivity, thinking in terms of abundance, because positivity does bring profitability. If you haven't picked up Vinny's book and listened to it, you're making a big mistake in your year. Starting off on the right foot would be to get that mindset right. So wealth principle 1 is think $1 million. That's what we're talking about right now. And then the wealth principle 2 is choose a business that can make $1 million. And so I was listening to Millionaire Real Estate Investor today by Gary Keller. I just happened to listen to like the last chapter, like how to earn the $1 million.
Yes.
And not pay after taxes.
Exactly. No, so you're so right, Walter. The key thing is, we got to have that uncanny stay positive ability. If we don't have it, develop it and refuse to give up on the goal, because we will only be millionaire if we are reaching our goals, small and big and intermittent and short term and long term. Slowly, it takes determination and creativity to reach it. It really does, And along the way, it's also beneficial to continue learning and acquiring the skills and knowledge necessary to succeed. If we don't do that, if we keep on doing the same thing over and over again, that's insanity. That's total insanity. The other thing I wrote down was, imagine what we'll do with $1 million. If you are able to make a net worth of $1 million, what kind of freedom you're going to get? Would you be traveling more? Would you be getting new car or giving more to the charities and doing down payments on more rental and properties and, giving a lifestyle that you want for your family? It all boils down to relationships, family, God, charities, helping people, all those things, right? But the biggest thing is you got to think like a millionaire to become one. And you become slowly, you become that person. But you got to take that step every day. These are minor steps which will change your mindset and your subconscious and your conscious. And then you will send the signal, law of attraction, law of abundance, law of manifestation will work in your favor. But if you don't, then those laws are still there, but they are deterring you, they're putting you away from your goals because you are not being, in the right direction.
And it's funny that you mentioned determination, right? Because you said determination, you said you got to create that vision, you've got to see it and maybe even have like a vision board, like think about it. You got to feel like it's yours. These are also, and you said you got to prepare, right? You got to get the knowledge, you got to prepare yourself. These are all the sort of things that lead to luck, aren't they? Right? Like people say, you got lucky finding that deal, or you got lucky because you own that property, you got lucky with your wife, you got lucky with your kids. But really, it's because of all the work you did behind the scenes, preparing yourself, studying, meeting those people, making those connections, working for free in some cases, or giving without any expectation.
Yeah.
And believing in something that you hadn't yet seen that made you lucky, right?
I totally agree. If I may take you on a business plan. See, we can only accomplish, our business will only become $1 million business if we are planning on, I wrote down 5 strategies. So I'd like to share with everybody.
This is how you choose a business, right?
This is how you choose a business and what it will take to choose and run $1 million business. You could be taking a business in accounting, technology, restaurant, construction, catering, recruiting, venture capital, advertise. There are so many facets, right? But you got to look at where you fall, where you enjoy, and you choose that field. But then the biggest part, I'm going to talk about 5 points, is a strong understanding of the industry. You got to know the industry. You got to have a business plan that outlines how it will operate and strategies and goals it will use to reach the objectives, such as a plan is essential. See right there, to run a business of any size, right? You must possess a thorough understanding of the industry in which you operate. This means having knowledge of the competitive landscape, landscape, understanding customer needs and wants, and being aware of the challenges and opportunities of the sector. See, unless we really understand the customer and what the customer wants, what we are trying to fulfill the need or solving a problem, I call it, that's the backbone of the business, brother.
Yep.
If we cannot look at our competition and get ourselves out of and say, hey, Mr. Prospect, look at me, I'm different. Come to my business because I have solved this problem in this particular way. That will bring the business to rotation. Otherwise, we are just dinking around, just tapping on the table, but no customers are coming in. You got to have a total understanding of the industry, the customer, who you're going after, what's the competition doing, and how you are different than the competition.
I love this. I gotta be selfish, Vinny. So I know everybody in Alchemist Nation is on some level a real estate investor, but you and I have been really pushing them to get into that multifamily space, and you've been really instrumental in teaching syndication. Who is the client, right? Who is the client when you're a multifamily operator or a multifamily capital raiser? Who is the client that we're really serving and working with?
See, the thing is, when we say client or investor, let's say, what we are saying is in my business and syndicator's business, we are bringing a great deal, but we are bringing in a nice underwritten way. It makes sense, and bring it to the investors, passive investors, so that they are great at their own fields, but they don't have time to find the deals. We bring it to them. They put their hard-earned money into the syndication to give us the down payments and everything. We operate. So our clients, our prospects are the investors who are doctors, attorneys, CPAs, entrepreneurs. I mean, you name it. All these people who have trillions of dollars total in retirement funds and cash, and they don't want to take 7, 8, 9%. They want to make a lot higher returns.
I love it. And so for your investors, the ones who've already become millionaires, right? You have probably one of the best examples, because you can look at 500 accredited investors, relationships you've built, and you can look at, hey, how did they become millionaires, right? Now, without giving any names, what do you see the most in your pool? And what was like? I don't know if you know how fast they got there, but that's a conversation I just want to keep continuing with you. What do you see like the biggest people who've really done well for themselves?
Oh, you know what? These are the people who are going places. Yeah. I mean, that's the real truth. That's the real truth. The investors we should be going after are the ones who lead us. What businesses did
they choose? What businesses did they choose?
All kind. IT businesses. They're into hospitality. They're into service. They are, in my case, they are business entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley. In my case, also they own gas stations, and they have lands, and they have hotels, and they have CPAs and financial advisors. And I mean, they are into all different things. That's what my database is, and they told their children and their uncle aunts and everything. So it just mushroomed from my 6 investors to 36 to 72 or something. And then it mushroomed even bigger and bigger and bigger. And then their friends asked them how they are making so much money with Vinny Chopra. Then they called me, and that's how, it just, from the bottom up, it just flourished into all these investors.
I love it because you have the knowledge of like what businesses they chose, right? So Wealth Principle 2 is choose a business that can make $1 million. And right now, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Vinny Chopra about like Wealth Principle 1, which is think $1 million, get the mindset. We talk, if you want to listen to that part, go watch the earlier part of this episode. But right now we're going into choosing a business. He's given us 2 steps already. You got to understand your industry. You've got to understand your clients. You've got to understand your investors, what we just talked about now. And like he just gave us a whole bunch of examples of people who have actual businesses that have made them millionaires. So it's really important to choose a business that makes $1 million. And you gave a bunch of examples. What are some of the steps that you could do to
I would say the second step, of course, after understanding the industry and market and the niche and what your product will look like, it's a business plan. Every successful business has a plan to outline how it will operate and strategies and goals it will use to reach the objectives. That is the main thing. As a CEO of the company, we need to have a plan which is essential for the startup businesses or, buying a business, how you're going to change that business, seeking to expand, and growth is it has to be. Business dies when there is no growth. So that's the second thing I would say, a business plan. Third thing is a solid team. To run $1 million business, we have to have team of passionate and dedicated individuals who catch the vision of the CEO. This team should possess different skills, talents, and backgrounds to ensure the business meets its objectives. Strong leadership and clear communication are essential for creating an efficient and motivated team. Then the fourth one, I'll just kind of go.
I know you're like the king of team building, because I've learned how to run my meetings from you. You're just like, they got to be efficient, know when to walk away, like just no, I don't need to be in this meeting, like. I love that. Meeting
time should be totally productive time, not to build relationships. That's different. But right. When you are meeting on a weekly basis, you build relationships outside that time frame. But right. Then when you're meeting, you got to be just on the ball. Hey, these are the points, key factors, what's happening here. And nobody should be offended if we are finding we are going in the wrong course. Because the sooner we direct us back in the right course, the bigger the efficiency will be. Productivity and efficiency are the main reasons of us meeting. It's the communication. And don't meet on phone. I hate meeting on phone. I want the webcams open all the time. That's why I buy best of the best webcams and cameras and laptops.
You gave me the best webcam. I went and bought 2 of the ones you bought.
No. This is so important. Then the thing is, the team is amazing. That's number 3. Number 4 is robust marketing strategies. A business will not go anywhere. $1 million business needs an effective marketing strategy to reach its target audience. This should include both traditional and digital techniques, more digital now than traditional TV ads and this and that and print media. Those are gone of the past. But we need to live in the present with a focus on building brand awareness. That's what I want to talk about. See, the thing is, if we don't really distinguish ourselves and build our brand of the new business or new business we just bought, we want to change it, we got to generate leads and communicating with customers.
This is your brand, right? I noticed on your books, you got the yellow and then you shifted over to it's the purple. And you positioned yourself as the authority in apartment syndication, right? You use the book, use your website, use the book, use your speaking to position yourself as the authority on apartment syndication, which is, this is clever. A lot of people don't think to do this in their business, but you did.
Thank you. No, thank you. I think it's the team's effort. Everybody in my team are good, accomplished people, and they drive, companies. People build companies. Buildings don't build companies. I learned that from my mentor, billionaire Spencer Hayes. I want to give him respect. I learned so much from him, Tom McDowell, John Ross, Ashok Menon. These are my leaders. I reported to them. Henry Bedford, all these great people. Kevin Hawley comes to my mind. Definitely all these great people, right? I've learned so much so that who I am today is the reflection of the things and the skills that I have learned from them. We all do. We think that we are important. We are not important at all. We really are not. God is the most important person who teaches us in different sections of life. And we need to just grab it, make it part of us so that we are able to be a better person today, tomorrow, and day after, and all. The fifth one, I would like to, before I kind of go to other
Before we cut off, yeah.
this will be kind of good because we can go a little longer. Fifth is a solid financial strategies, brother. Oh my gosh. Businesses fail left and right because the CEOs don't really look at the profit and loss statements. You got to be looking at money's coming in and the money's going out, expenses, what's left, what's important. A financial strategy, a key component of the managing $1 million business is developing a robust financial strategy. This should include budgeting and forecasting.
So it's got to be robust.
It has to be. It has to
be. I do have to jump because I made the mistake of scheduling a call. I know you got stuff to go.
No, okay, no problem, brother.
Let's clean it up. I know we just started. And for everybody who's
the cash flow, is so big. Monitoring the cash flow, managing expenses. A finance team should be in place to ensure that money is used wisely for the benefit of the business. Where I am today is because of my vice president of accounting and financial, where we had 5 full-time people under her direction. And that's where everything goes through. Millions of dollars go through your organizations, but a dime should not be lost. One dime even, especially when I'm in a syndication world, everybody's accountable in the accounting and everything. If investors ask for books, we have to provide them. And we have given them. And they have not found anything wrong in our accounting.
If you want to learn more about Vinny Chopra, you go to vinnychopra.com, and you can go to Alchemist Nation if you want a free course called Apartment Syndication Made Easy, or Multifamily Syndication Made Easy. Go to alchemistnation.com, look for Vinny Chopra, and he's got his free course out there, which just gives you the mindset, gives you the ideas of how to get there. And then he's got a paid course called Apartment Syndication Academy for 2023. And that's a little more money, but it's tremendous. In size, it's almost 10 times bigger. So Vinny, thank you so much, brother. I've got to jump. For everybody who's listening, cheers to your success.
See you next Tuesday.